Well, I think it's time to get a little bit Christmassy, so I'll tell you what, let's make some Christmas cards. Let's get started. Now there's one thing I wanted to do before Christmas, and that is to work on a Christmas card. Now this is very, very simple, very basic, but you can turn it to whatever you want it to be. You can use whatever images you want. These are just ones which I got off the internet, which are from royalty-free downloadable silhouette images, okay? So that kind of thing you want to search for. So the first thing we need to do is think about getting the paper wet. So I'm going to wet this down first of all. I'll probably wet it 2 or 3 times normally as well, just to make sure that it stays wet longer, because otherwise it dries quite quickly. That can depend obviously on the temperature of your room as well. So I tend to find the warmer the lights in the room and the warmer the room, the quicker the paper dries. And also if the paper's on a bit of an angle. So just bear that in mind when you're wetting the paper down. Plus, I'm not forgetting, it also depends on the type of paper in which you're using as well. So I'm going to start adding the colours onto this painting. So I'm going to start off with something like an ochre colour. This is yellow ochre. Just kind of a base layer. I'm thinking about the background colours. The beauty about this painting as well is I'm going to be using just simply 5 different colours. And that's including, believe it or not, watercolour white. So I'm going to add watercolour white in there. A little bit of a thing I know with some watercolours. If you're traditional, you don't use white. I do. And I also use black paint as well. But I know it's one of those things, you're welcome to leave a comment down below concerning that. But everyone's different in the way they paint and the kind of colours in which they prefer to use. So we're looking at lamp black, a very bright kind of phthalo blue, and a little bit of alizarin crimson as well. But I want to blend these on the paper just that little bit. Thinking about the detail side of things, so I would go normally for a 00 brush, but that's down to you, down to the kind of brushes that you got in your stock as well. But try and use a brush that's got a very fine tip and something that you can control for those finer details. Just by using the very tip of the brush and taking some paint off the brush to begin with. So try not to load it fully before you go to the paper, otherwise you end up with a big blob of paint on the paper. And then start to fill in all the silhouette outlines which I've already drawn on to this now dry paper. I tend to leave the paper to dry for probably about half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Again, it also depends on the temperature of the room. So obviously bear that in mind when you're doing that. Using the finest of touches, filling in the details. This is one of the most simplest paintings we can ever do, because it just basically means we're just filling in silhouetted images. And that's the beauty, as I said, about something like this. It's just a matter of picking out an image which you like and you fancy. It could be a bird in the sky, it could be a wolf howling at the moon, it could be a variety of different ideas you can come up with. So fill it all in, let it dry, so really bone dry. So just to add that little bit of watercolour white. So that will finalise the painting, and the last thing we need to think about doing is getting the masking tape off the paper and then cutting the paper up into little card-like sizes. So there you go, that's how to make a very simple Christmas card using watercolours and a silhouette design. Now if you fancy having a go at this and working on a complete video tutorial, I'll guide you through step by step, showing you a variety of techniques on how to do that. To find out more, just simply click on the links below. Now remember to click on subscribe, like and share, and of course you can always comment down below as well. So I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye for now.